Welcome to Jesse Watters Primetime. Tonight,
the American people's voice are what need to be heard.
Yeah,
because our president is not speaking for the American people.
Sit down, we've heard your opinion. Thank you very much.
heckling Hillary. Whoa!
We've got the guy that tried to shut the engines down out of the cockpit. I think he's the dude.
The kamikaze pilot tripping on shrooms.
FBI, come out of the bathroom.
Frankie's phone hack and the FBI. Plus,
Everybody looking right here.
it was the 1960s. Civil rights in Vietnam ignited a slew of protests throughout America. Picket signs and bullhorns filled the streets. Some made a name for themselves. Jane Fonda, John Lennon, Hillary Rodham, later Hillary Clinton. You know, you could find her on the steps of Wellesley with a bullhorn. In '69, Hillary was quoted in Time mag saying, "Protest is an attempt to forge an identity." Hillary used to believe in questioning authority. That was until she became the authority. And war started exhilarating her. From Bill bombing aspirin factories in Africa to her abandoning Americans in Benghazi, Hillary was numb. So this week, when anti-war protesters confronted her about America's proxy wars, Hillary responded smugly.
What do you have to, can you please make a statement about President Joe Biden's speech? This is a clearly warmongering speech. President Joe Biden is calling for $100 billion of funding for Israel, Taiwan, and Ukraine, and we're supposed to just bundle these together and pretend like we're going to rush to World War III, and we're all just going to let Hillary Rodham Clinton sit here. Okay.
I'm sorry. You know,
yes.
This is not. This is not the way to have a conversation.
I'm sorry.
If you want to have a conversation, you're welcome to come talk to me afterwards.
You can sit here. Okay, right. You're gonna wait for me, right? Please, I do not believe you.
I will listen to you, and I will respond to you.
I do not believe you. Respectfully, I do not believe you.
In 50 years, Hillary went from a college protester to cutting college protesters off. And it went on.
The fact of the matter is that the American people's voice are what need to be heard.
Yeah,
because our president is not speaking for the American people, and neither are you.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Yes, that's my opinion.
Well, then sit down. We've heard your opinion. Thank you very much.
What I have done is I have asked Hillary Rodham Clinton to denounce the president's openly warmongering, suicidal, idiotic speech.
And
that's what I've asked.
Answer, I will
that's
not
what
do
I've
that.
done.
So that's the end of our conversation. But I'll still meet you
I need your
outside. But you're done.
right?
Leaders are supposed to tell us the truth. If Hillary believes we should police the world, tell the guy why. Democrats always say democracy's messy, so mix it up. Tell the guy we're going to keep you safe, and this is why. This will keep you safe. Don't tell him to shut up and sit down. It's exactly why the public is so peeved at politicians. It's because they don't listen, and they don't engage, or they don't even try to persuade. FDR used to have fireside chats with us. Hillary just slams the door, shuts the lights, and tells us to go to bed. Now, Europe is at war. The Mideast is at war. And the world's richest man is saying we're sleepwalking our way into World War III. So, our leaders have a duty to tell us, how did we get here? Because a couple years ago, everything was fine. And what's the plan to calm this down? Because the American people are feeling a little uneasy when they turn on the TV. So we expect honesty, clarity, and a touch of humility. Instead, the White House is giving itself an A+.
Well, he's balancing it well. He's doing it. I mean, if you want to give him a report card, A+. I mean, he's commander-in-chief. That never stops, and the duties and responsibilities are literally global.
How do you give yourself an A+ when 2 wars exploded on your watch? Well, it's because politicians think war is good politics. Democrats are urging Biden to drop Bidenomics and run as a wartime president. A wartime president who said the Taliban would never take over, said Putin was committed to peace, and he knew how to negotiate with Hamas.
One of the reasons why we're able to get the ceasefire in 11 days, they didn't do what other people have done. I don't talk about what I tell people in private. I don't talk about what we negotiate in private. What I can assure you, though, is that the last times it took 56 days and then 6 months to get a ceasefire.
So what is the Biden doctrine? He tells Iran, don't. The next day he tells Israel, don't. One day it's ceasefire. The next day it's no ceasefire. Then it's we'll talk. Well, today's Tuesday, so what's the policy?
We don't believe that a ceasefire right now we would believe that a ceasefire right now is only going to benefit Hamas.
All right, so today we learned Biden's preparing to evacuate every single American from the Mideast. So for those counting at home, we've got 2 proxy wars, 2 evacuations, 1 Chinese spy balloon, and a bag of Coke. They didn't touch the spy balloon, but they blew up the bag of Coke. So Joe Biden wants to be a wartime president, and Donald Trump's running to stop Joe Biden from being a wartime president. Trump's new campaign platform: we will stop World War III.
This guy's in charge of the most dangerous time in our history. He's in charge of it. World War III will be an obliteration. It'll be something like nobody's ever seen before. And we have a man that's not capable. He's not capable. To every American who's terrified that Crooked Joe's weakness will cause catastrophic global conflict, excuse me, it already is. I make this promise to you as president. I will restore peace through strength, and we will stop World War III.
Donald Trump is telling you what he's going to do and how he's going to do it by combining military deterrence with economic power.
If you will not enforce sanctions against Iran, then you do not stand with Israel. It's that simple. By the time I left, they had nothing. They were broke. They were broke. The Iranian regime could barely afford to turn out the lights. The minute I'm back in the White House, not only will I impose the most crippling sanctions in history, we will also unleash the most powerful economic weapon. We will drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill. I call it liquid gold, and we have more than anybody. He funded Hamas and Hezbollah.
So Biden's Green New Deals and Russian proxy wars are making the mullahs so rich, they have money left over to send to Hamas to kill Jews. And this is how you know Trump's serious. He's kissing babies.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.